The third type of nonlinear activation function is rectified linear unit function, or simply called as ReLU function. So generally it is used in almost all convolutional neural networks or deep learning networks. So this is the most used activation function in the world right now. Okay. So here the ReLU operation or the ReLU function performs a threshold operation on each of the input elements, where if you see here the ReLU function has been defined as if the value is less than 0, all the values which are less than 0 are set to 0, and the values which are greater than or equal to 0 are set to that input value. That is, if you see the function here, the ReLU is half rectified from the bottom. See here, the ReLU is half rectified from the bottom. I will tell you what it is half rectified from the bottom means. Okay. So first of all, we will see f of x is equal to 0 when x is less than 0. See, this is x value. When x value is less than 0, so the output value is equals to 0. Okay. And whenever the f of x value is equal to the input, that is, whenever x value is greater than or equal to 0, then it will be equal to the input only. Okay, see here f of x is equal to x. So the range of this ReLU function is 0 to infinity. Okay, so you think that this ReLU function looks like linear function, but it is actually a non-linear function because the derivative exists for this particular ReLU function. So always it will be taking the maximum of 0 comma x values here. So one advantage of this ReLU function is nothing but sparsity of the activations. So we'll see what is sparsity of the activation. So let us consider a big neural network with lot of neurons. Okay. So generally, if you apply the sigmoid activation function or tanh activation functions, okay, so they will cause almost all neurons to fire. So whenever all the neurons are going to fire, processing all the activation functions is bit a computationally expensive task. So if you remember in the tanh function or sigmoid function, I told that those are computationally expensive. That is the reason is that, so whenever almost all the neurons are firing, so what actually happens is that all activation functions must be processed. So this is computationally expensive. So in other words, the activations can be considered as dense. But the thing is that we ideally want only a few neurons in the network not to activate, thereby making the activation sparse and efficient. So the real advantage of ReLU comes here. That is only part of only the part of inputs will only be activated. See here, only this part is going to be activated, and this part of inputs are not activated. So it tells us that the activation functions are here considered and processed, only a limited number of activation functions are processed. So this is nothing but it is called sparse activation, okay, or sparsity of the activation. So imagine a network with random initialized weights, and almost all the 50% of the networks yields zero activation because of the characteristics of ReLU. If you see here, so the output of the ReLU is zero for almost all the 50% of the activations. So for the other remaining 50% of the activations, only the output you are going to get it as f of x, right? So in this manner, so the computations of these activations functions is sparse when compared to the computation of the activation functions of the sigmoid function and tanh function. So this means the fewer neurons are firing, so activations are very sparse and the network is lighter. So coming to the advantages of ReLU function, as already discussed, it is computationally efficient, that is allows the network to converge very quickly, and it is a non-linear function. Even though it looks like a linear function, it has a derivative function, and the ReLU function is a non-linear function and thus allows for back propagation. And one another advantage is that it eliminates the vanishing gradient problem. In tanh function and sigmoid function, we have the vanishing gradient problem, but in ReLU function, we do not get any kind of vanishing gradient problems. But even though the ReLU function is used widely in the present day scenarios, it also suffers from disadvantages. The first thing is that the dying ReLU problem. It is nothing but when the input reaches to 0 or all the negative values, so the gradient of this function also becomes 0. That is, the network cannot perform the back propagation. So finally the network cannot learn. So at this moment of time, we can say that the neurons are dead. So what happens if the neurons are dead? If the neurons are dead, the network no more, that is the network cannot perform any of the learning. Okay. So however, there is another concept called extension of this ReLU algorithm, which is nothing but leaky ReLU algorithm, which is used to overcome this problem of dead neurons. Okay. Also, proper setting of the learning rate can prevent causing the neurons to be dead. So this is all about the ReLU function. Thank you.